Gianni Infantino, the president of FIFA, said, "No one people or culture or nation is better than any other." This principle is the very foundation stone of mutual respect and non-discrimination. And this is also one of the core values of football. Football is a global game. The sponsors, the players, the fans, the revenues, and the TV rights are all global, but not the sympathies. Let me show you how. With regards to the Ukrainian war, and I'm choosing my words very carefully here, football took, and I quote, a definitive and united stand against Russia. Russia was subsequently banned from World Cup qualifiers, and Russian clubs were banned from European championships. Belarusian clubs in the national team were also prohibited from playing at home. Fans, footballers, and managers were all allowed to show their sympathies for Ukraine. FIFA also suspended South Africa during apartheid, and Moscow's 1980 Olympics were boycotted after the Soviet invasion on Afghanistan. Now let me tell you about FIFA's blind spot, Palestine. UEFA, again, which is governed by FIFA, keeps fining Celtic fans and the club for raising Palestinian flags, claiming that football isn't political. Even though the Celtic fans themselves have been saying that Celtic was a club founded on being political and defending the oppressed and minority voices. Songs that are played in the stadium are political, and many of their chants contain political tones. Indonesia was stripped from hosting the Under-20 2023 World Cup because they wouldn't give Israeli travelers or players travel permits. Even though, according to Amnesty International, Israel is committing apartheid, according to FIFA, it's just a conflict. Since 2006, there are various instances of Israeli forces attacking Palestinian players, pitches, stopping them from playing their game, and even preventing FIFA's Palestine Super Cup finals. According to Rule 71.2 of the FIFA Legal Handbook, member associations and their clubs may not play on territory of another member association without their permission. That clearly means that illegal settlements that are in violation of international law should be included in this rule, but FIFA turns a blind eye to this. Many Israeli football clubs on illegal settlements continue to participate under the FIFA umbrella. The silence is deafening when it comes to Palestine. Even the clubs that have mentioned anything to do with the Palestinian massacres have used outrageous terms, calling the events in Israel horrific crimes and calling what's happening in Palestine a crisis. Crystal Palace Football Club didn't even mention anything in Palestine, and Mainz in Germany, ironically, the German team preaching freedom of speech, have just suspended Anwar El-Ghazi for expressing solidarity with Palestinians. In France, Nice is following suit, suspending Attel for expressing sympathies with the Palestinians. To be honest, the media did say that the Ukrainians deserve our sympathies because they have blue eyes, are civilized, and live next door. That's what they actually said. Maybe we shouldn't be so surprised. Now, why is football important? Why am I even talking about football? What's happening in football is a microcosm of what's happening in the real world. The stance that the civilized footballing nations are taking are exactly the same stances that the media and the West are taking. Your silence is deafening. You're refusing to even mention, let alone condemn what's happening in Palestine, tells us so much. You want us as fans, you want us as sponsors, you want us as players, but we don't deserve your sympathies? Don't claim that all lives matter when some clearly matter more than others. I'm not going to attempt to educate you on what's happening in Palestine, because some people are much more qualified to do that. Social media is full of it, and if you just open your eyes, you'll see in front of you what's happening. Apartheid, a massacre, genocide, and horrific human rights violations and international law violations. All you need to do is open your eyes. All you need to do is listen. And finally, my prayers, and I hope everyone's prayers, go out to all innocent lives affected in this massacre.